we got Patrick Kane finally landing on his destination. I still don't know if I'm like surprised or if I expected this all along, but he has signed with the Detroit Red Wings, a 1-year deal. Isn't it just like 2.75 mil? I didn't fact check myself there, but it's definitely something small. Before we even talk about that decision though, Z, he is coming off of hip resurfacing surgery. What in the absolute fuck does that mean?
No, just like sand it down, just take it out in the garage, the workshop, throw it on the bench there.
Did they just fucking like drive over him with a Zamboni, or what is this shit?
What if that was part of it? Yeah, no, it's a hockey
injury. Only resurfacing, I know.
Yeah, it is. It just like, and I mean, the commentary around Patrick Kane the last couple of years has been wild. I mean, like, people just have to. Now, he's not the same Patrick Kane as when he was 28 years old, like one of the best players on the planet, whatever. But he still has his moments, and again, like, it's not like there's a reason that is it officially that he did sign for sure?
He signed.
Gotcha. So, like, and there's a reason he's making less than John Klingberg, which that's crazy. But it's fucking nuts. I mean, he's not the same Patrick Kane, obviously, but at the same time, like, for a guy that signs for 2.5 for 1 year on a team that's playing really well, he's got history with the Brinket, so it should.
Oh, does he?
What
does he? Did they play well together?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say they were okay.
What scale of 1 to 10? What percent did that factor in? Like, is it just a happy coincidence and that was the tiebreaker, or like was DeBrincat in his ear this whole time? He's like, dude, get over here.
It's a good question. I mean, I feel like he's got the history there. Obviously, they're up and coming. They have playoff aspirations. It looks like they should be able to get in. He's going to be able to play a significant role. Like in New York, he still like was given a bit of a role. But there was just like, that was like just a weird like deadline for New York when they brought him in too, after like Tarasenko. They just like brought in a bunch of like mercenaries almost, and it just didn't seem like it was fluid, I guess. But it's funny too, because you talk to a lot of the people that will sign in Detroit, and they're like, I mean, Stevie Y was a big factor. So it is interesting to me to see like just Stevie Y being there and somehow drawing like it's always crazy to me. Like when people just like bring up the GM, I'm just like, that's so weird. Like, but okay, that's cool. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I just think the commentary was like, he's actually a terrible hockey player now. It's always driven me fucking insane, but I am going to be fascinated to see what he looks like after this hip surgery, or resurfacing.
Hip resurfacing.
After he got Zamboni. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, that's a team like that. Power play is gonna be fun to watch. There already was, but like the amount of cross ice, fucking just ridiculous passes are gonna be flying around. Are gonna be sick.
Yeah, but here, answer this for me, because like again, it makes sense. Like locationally, they're on the rise, and like really funny looking back to when we thought the Iser plan was broken. Yep, I see it on TV right now. 2.75 is the dollar amount. But like, I would have thought for a team like Detroit, he'd sign there, but for term. Whereas if he's going to do a cheap 1-year deal, it's going for a cup. And I think Detroit can absolutely be a playoff team. And who knows, maybe they like rustle up, a series win. There's no way that you're looking at Detroit and calling them a Stanley Cup contender. So like, what happened here where he's like, yeah, I'll do a cheap 1-year deal with a team like Detroit?
I mean, how old is he now? Like 35, 34?
Is that all?
I can't remember exactly how old he is.
I would have thought he'd be 36, but maybe I'm wrong. 35.
He is 35.
That's right. That's right. Because he turned 35 right after free agency hit. So technically, he didn't have to sign a 35 plus.
That's unfucking believable.
Oh, no, dude, that's for sure what it is. All right. Nope. I just cracked the code. It's just like when it's the reverse Goligoski, where Yzerman's like, dude, sign a cheap one, make it work for this year. We'll sign you to a 35 plus next year, and we'll be good.
Yeah, I'd be curious to like. Shocking! I didn't do any research before this, but I do wonder how many guys around his age, or whatever, anyone that signs at this point in the season, how many guys are actually signing a multi-year deal? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of like people that sign this late usually is something like a 1 year, and then play it out in the off season. But you look at a lot of like the cup contenders, and really the only one that I feel like there was like significant rumors that it seemed like it could be a real possibility was like Dallas, and like I don't know, some of those contenders I don't really know if bringing in Patrick Kane, if you're already going real well in the top 6, you have scoring up and down the lineup, like does bringing a guy like Patrick Kane at the end of November, like how appealing is that? I wonder. Like I don't know, because like there's a question mark too of like, is this resurfacing? It's tough to kind of like, all right, this is the piece that we're going to add in to make this cup run. Like you still don't know. I mean, I think he's going to be fine. Obviously, I think he's going to put up some decent numbers, I'm sure. I'll be curious to see how quickly they can kind of like gel right away, and I'm sure then that's where I kind of wonder if the Brinkett piece came into play at all. Who knows? They didn't whatsoever, but I would assume it did. But it is interesting, just like with a player like Patrick Kane with his reputation. That's like, I feel like when he signed, I was like, oh, all right, wow, that's crazy, and then kind of just like moved on. And again, as I've said before, I still haven't really just like got fully back into the swing of being on Twitter as often, but so maybe people are still freaking out, and I'm just not seeing it because I'm
convinced that you're on Twitter all the time. You're just not reading anything else. You're just constantly throwing stuff out there, and then it's like, wait, there's actually a feed I can follow. Weird.
Yeah, I just have everyone muted at this point. Anyone that's annoyed me once, which is just the bar so low to do that, But I don't know. Like, I just wonder if the teams that are really looking at, making a cup run, I'm sure they want to probably have more of a sure thing to go for, like towards the deadline. And as great as Patrick Kane's been, as good as he is, it's still somewhat of a gamble if that's what you're going to really. Because if you're bringing him in, you're not putting him in like a middle 6, bottom 6 role, obviously. It kind of feels like this is the piece you're adding now. So I would imagine that there wasn't probably. I'm curious to see how many offers he really did have that were like, this is the guy we want to like put us over the edge, because it seems like that would have obviously been extremely appealing for if it was like, hey, we want you to come in here, we think we're going to win a cup, whatever. So we'll see if it's just like a play the year out, put up good numbers, and see what you can get at 36 years old. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, fair. All right. Nothing else you want to say?
What were the other ones like that? It was like Dallas. We heard a lot about like Buffalo.
I don't know, dude. I was hearing from a lot of places that Dallas was never actually interested. Right. Like that was a place he wanted to go, not a place that wanted him. Not that they don't want him, more so that if they're going to do anything, it's bolstering their blue line. Right. But yeah, I'm trying to think who else even was really in the running. I don't know. You'd think like another scary proposition, but imagine him signing like a cheap ticket to go to Edmonton with where they're at.
I know.
Like risky, but holy shit, could that be something?
Yeah, dude, that would be wild.
Like, he wasn't an Erie Otter. That wouldn't really fit.
Yeah, no, you can't bring in a London guy.
No, that's kind of gross. Although, imagine putting him on a line with Sam Gagner over there.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah.
How crazy that they played on a line together, and I still think today, like if you were putting together the all hands team, they'd be 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know.
Like they are so slick. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy going back and finding like the old like Sam Gagner like shootout clips or just like breakaway clips, and it's like, holy fuck, was this guy insane? They have like you throw Datsuk in there too with those fucking shootout moves. Jesus. Yeah, it's fucking crazy though. Patrick Kane, Detroit. Yzerman's gonna throw a fucking sweater on and jump on the ice.
Hey man, the Yzer plan is in motion apparently.
Yeah.